I grew up 20 miles north of here. I've lived primarily all my life in Nebraska. So my dad had his own business there. My mom, her father had his own business. So I lived a lot different life than probably what Ken had. So I was raised Protestant, but then I converted to Catholicism, which you know what that is, being Catholic. And I met Kent, how long have we been together? About 8 years?
8 years.
Yeah, we've been together.
8 years of hell.
Not really.
Not really.
But we, you know what, we left Nebraska for a while. We went to Wisconsin, then lived there for about a year and a half. And then we came back because I wanted to come back to be with my children. Well, that like backfired. So, you know, I have a daughter that is a bailiff for a judge. My son is an agronomist. And I have and my youngest daughter is a lead dispatcher for a trucking company here. Yeah, so my kids, they've all gone to college. They all graduated. And I'm very proud of every one of them. And I had fallen apart until I got into my adulthood.
How did we become homeless?
How did we become homeless?
This is how we became homeless, is that we both lost our jobs and then we lost our place we were living at. And we had a nice apartment, huh? And
we had a little dog.
And we had a little dog, but we became homeless when we lost our apartment and we lost our jobs. And it's because of alcoholism, honestly.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
Both alcoholics.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the truth. And then we came on the streets and we lived by the mission. I don't know if you know what the mission is, but it's here in Lincoln. It's on Westville. We started living under this bridge underneath the mission, and it just became a
way of life.
Way of life, you know, and that is the truth. And this is how we become.
We've lost our ways, primarily.
Yeah, but this is the way
we lost our jobs,
it's
we lost our apartment, we lost the dog.
Let me tell you something, sir, is we're sleeping underneath this bridge, right down by the mission here, and it started raining one night, right? So I'm trying to pick up my shit. I'm trying to just get everything up. And the rain just came, and it came, and it came. And I could not get things picked up fast enough, so everything just got soaking wet. So the next day, I got to go out and find what I got to find. And I don't know how many backpacks I've gotten stolen from me. And I'm not lying, man. You know how many phones we've had?
We've had 5 phones
taken?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yep.
Our phones are that's our
it's like our lifeline.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm gonna tell you how I've survived. Is that after it rained, and I lay my body on top of her to keep her drier than me. The next day, I'm thinking to myself, I'm 500 miles from home. What the hell am I going to do? So this is what I do: is I start hustling people that come out to the river, and you know what I had by the next day? I had a tent, I had a mountain bike, I had food, I had beer, I had money, and I had some marijuana. I'm just keeping it real.
Yeah.
You want to know the truth, right? But, and then we started meeting people that came out every day. They brought their dogs out every day, and
People just started bringing us things to help us survive because they knew we were
kids out every day.
Yep.
And this is what I did. Okay, up around Bare Ass Naked Beach, if you take a right, okay, that's where our campsite was. If you take a left, that's where all the gays went up and they done whatever. I don't know.
We never went up that trail.
I don't even care. But you know what I would do is I would see them walking out of the woods and I would hit them up for money. And that's exactly what I did. That's how I survived up in Wisconsin. When I got back here, then I hustled them up.
Yep.
I'm downtown in the Haymarket, and I'm hitting them up for money, left and right, and
Yeah. That's how we've survived as we've hustled.
That's how we survived.
Yeah.
And we're still homeless. I mean, we're
And
still
we're still homeless.
Yeah, we're still homeless.
Yeah.
But that's how we survived. I raised my children right. My kids all have good jobs. Two kids have good jobs.
Yeah. My daughter is a lesbian. But you know what? She's got 3 boys and she's married legally in Kansas, and she's a good girl. They raise them kids right, you know? And if she knew the way I was living my life right now, she would not be too happy.
My oldest daughter is a bailiff or a judge.
And
My son is an agronomist. He manages the University of Nebraska at Meade. And my youngest daughter is a dispatcher for a trucking company. So yeah, they all have very good jobs. They all have college educations. I am so proud of them. And I'm not disappointed that I'm out here now. I raised them right.
I am not embarrassed because you know what? I could see my son, I could see my daughter, and they would not look down on me because they just know that this is what I've come to and this is the way I am. But I'm not out robbing, stealing, nothing. Like I said, I just hustle, you know? And that's the God's honest truth.
I have, 9 grandkids?
Yeah, you got 9.
And they all have college educations. They're all they're independent, they're on their own. And I'm not sorry that I'm out here at all.
You know how many people that won't come in here and sit in here? Probably half the people out there, at least. They will not come in here and have this conversation because I don't know if they're embarrassed or what, but
I'm not ashamed.
you know how many people I see pull up in Cadillacs and BMWs out in the parking lot, and I'm thinking to
And
myself,
they're in here eating.
how the hell are you gonna eat? You know, you're driving a $45,000 vehicle, but you can come in here and eat. So it doesn't make no sense to me. And that's
And I'm
just,
not ashamed. I'm not ashamed for being homeless.
hell, we walk. You know, I got 2 sleeping bags I gotta haul around after all my shit's been taken,
Yeah.
you know, but I will get by it. And that's how I feel about life. Cause it's gonna be cold tonight. And, you know, I'm gonna be okay. That's that.
My dream?
Yeah, what?
To get us off the street. To get us off the street. And to get back into a place of our own. And to actually...
I want to get me a dog again.
You will.
I will.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I will. You know what? My family which they own the second largest refuse service in town, right? And they're millionaires. Swear to God, they're millionaires. And you think they could give me a handout? No. They know where I live, and I'm serious. They're multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
And it's pretty sad that they would let their own family sit out here, living on the streets and, you know, struggling like I do, instead of giving me a handout. They won't even give me a job. It's like, just give me a job, because I've asked them. Just give me a job. You know, I will go to work. You know what? This is all I own. This pair of boots, this pair of socks, pair of underwear, this hoodie. This is all I got. I have nothing. You know, and it's pretty freaking sad that they gotta act like that. But I guess that's just the way it is. I'm just gonna roll with it, because that's the way it is, sir.